Well, good morning, folks, and welcome to the Pyrenees, the Spanish Pyrenees. We're in a little village called Torla. I'm not sure whether, for those of you on here who also watch our travel-related videos, whether or not we've published that one yet. But as always, been so busy hiking and enjoying the daytime stuff over the last week or so. Haven't really done a huge amount of kind of mainline photography, but that's okay. The Torla itself is absolutely, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, is absolutely gorgeous. Now, I'm going to rush here a little bit because there's a scene just outside of the little campsite that we're staying at that I really wanted to capture in the pre-sunrise glow. And I'm thankful that we have a little bit of cloud cover because I am getting a little bit of light reflection in the river below. So I'm going to put you away, get set up, and see whether we can capture this before the sun starts to hit the mountain. Nuts. I think I missed the best of the light. At least the best of the pre-sunrise light. For the first time in, I don't know how long, we actually had a little bit of cloud in the sky. For so long, it's either been a complete whiteout and no sunrise colour whatsoever, or clear skies and no kind of reflective light. This morning we had some lovely reflective light. The problem with sitting in the camper van drinking coffee, with the blackout blinds in play, you kind of forget that sunrise has happened, Nigel. Come on, get out there. And as I was walking down through the campsite, it was just like, oh no. So now what we're going to hope for is, I noticed yesterday whenever we were heading out on a hike, now it was, albeit a little bit later than this, not too much later I must admit, there was some light starting to show up on one of these mountains here. And so that's now potentially what I'm going to look for. What I may also do is focus in a little bit more on a bit more of an abstract scene with just some of the water down here as well, especially before we get any sort of bright light, sort of giving any sort of highlights down there. It's quite a nice even tone. In fact, that's probably what I'm going to focus on now. Maybe see whether I can use the 18-135 at a bit of a longer focal length and do a bit more of an abstracted scene with some of those sort of rapids flowing over the colourful rocks. And I can testify, this is proper mountain water. It's even freezing. Right, let's see whether we can set something up. So a number of challenges, isn't there always? In the scene, or in the river, it is quite messy. I mean, it's lovely to look at, but quite messy. The sort of different tones of rocks. And there's a couple of things. Well, firstly, one of the rocks that I really want to base a lot of the frame around, the really colourful sort of amber orange rock, it's beside quite a fast-flowing and deep little rapid. Combine that with a slower shutter speed. I've got a 4-stop on there at the moment. And combine that with the fact that I'm out at about 100mm, so I'm having to kind of have an aperture of maybe f11, f13 to give me enough depth of field. Means I'm getting about a 5-second exposure at the moment, and with that deeper gully, it's just producing a really white sort of, not blown out, but just it doesn't really work that well with that coloured rock. Beside that lovely amber rock is a much darker rock, and I think that again, along with the sort of white, your eyes sort of bouncing between those dark and lighter areas. I tried a sort of slightly wider scene. I threw the fujifilm into 1:1 format. Really frustrates me that you have to shoot a JPEG and then you go home and you bin the JPEG. I just wish you could overlay a 1:1, I think I've said this before, a 1:1 aspect ratio and not have to keep the JPEG. Anyway, a little bit frustrating. Plus, there must be, I mean, I guess sunrise hasn't quite happened yet. We're not really getting much light now on those mountains up there. I'm still keeping an eye on that just in case we do get a little bit of light on there. But I'm going to carry on seeing whether I can fine-tune the composition here. I really want to base it, I think I really want to base it around that sort of amber rock, but it is presenting me with a couple of challenges. Hang on a minute. Great audio, eh? Whoa, a little climbing below here. Trying not to step on a rat. Don't know what that was. Getting in my ear hole. La 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 la. Well, I have left my camera. Quite precariously looking. So, standing on top of the bridge, realising that we weren't getting a huge amount of light on this mountain behind us. And then I realised I was standing on top of a bridge. I wondered what the bridge actually looked like. And looked quite nice. So I clambered down on the left hand side, not much going on. Clambered down on the right hand side, and again, not a huge amount going on, I didn't think, until I actually brought myself a little bit closer in to the bridge. And it kind of works, I think. Just really incorporating the flow of the water, the obviously bridge itself, and then we were getting just a touch of light up on the back distance hills. Not getting that light anymore, but I'll probably hold fire here for a little bit and see. I'm just checking my camera there, because now that I've come away from it, it really does look pretty precarious. And I'm kind of waiting to sort of see my camera floating down past me going, wonder what that is. Looks like a big eel. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure across the way I disturbed a rat as well. Fun times. But yeah, I think nothing too extravagant about the setup. 18 to 135, F something or other. Still got the 4-stop on, having to do exposure bracketing as well, just because the dynamic range in a single frame just wouldn't work. And as you know, I'm not using graduated filters anymore, but that's okay. I'll probably just need to sort of bring in an underexposed image for the brighter bits in the sky. So that's all she wrote really. And I have my own recording sound booth here in below the bridge. Very calm around this side, as you can see. It's a shame I can't get further down the river here, because there looks to be some gorgeous little spots of colour on the river, but hey ho, hey ho. Well, the sun has now risen about 15 minutes ago, and as I say, we're not getting any light on that mountain at the moment, but hopefully we get a little bit more light on these hills in my frame, and we'll try to make something happen. Right, I'm going to head back to my camera before it falls in the river. Let's try to get back into my little recording booth again. Oh, I'm being attacked by a tree. So again, some things to be aware of while I was shooting down here. I'm quite limited to how far up I can go. Stop walking about, Nigel, and talking to the camera. Stand still. I'm quite limited to how far back I can go to include more of the bridge. Because behind me here you can probably see this little white building. It starts to show up in the frame if I move too much up to the right, which is a shame, because I think actually compositionally that would work better. There's a lot more interest in the river if I move myself up to the right. Now, as you can see here, I also have put myself into a portrait orientation, and that's serving two purposes. One, it's helping me remove a lot of the clutter. I felt that with the light not really playing ball in the background, trying to sort of reduce too much of that sort of wider scene. And also with the portrait orientation, I'm able to slightly angle the camera down and really accentuate those rapids. The light's okay. It is I can start to see it starting to hit some of the cliffs. I've got no idea of the topography around here, so I've got no idea whether that sun is going to sort of all of a sudden disappear behind a big mountain. Probably will. But it would be good if we got just a little smidge of light. I'm going to hold fire here and see whether or not I can make something work. But there's just a slight feel of autumn in the air, and I can start to see on the riverbank a couple of birch trees, I believe they are, that are just starting to turn. Now this with lovely soft morning light and autumn colours starting to appear. Oh, that would be something. Unfortunately, we're leaving this place today. Don't think I could hang around for a month waiting on autumn colours. In fact, this whole area, this is Odessa National Park, and it is beautiful. It's absolutely stunning. Ooh. Potential composition just looking up the river here. Bit of the light on the mountains and some of that early autumn colour. Anyway, getting distracted. I'll wait and see whether we get some light on my original scene. Back through the trees in the bushes to retrieve my camera. Right guys, well this is probably going to be the final image of the morning. I brought myself back up on top of the bridge again, and I just wanted to capture, now the light's not there, but I just wanted to capture the scene, the bigger vista scene. This has incredible potential, you know, just a smorgasbord, am I really using the word smorgasbord in a vlog? A real just riot of autumnal colour, some lovely soft light. I think this would make for a really nice image. As is always the case when you're travelling through, you have to make the best of a bad bunch. There is a little smidge of light on those back mountains, but I think actually pre-sunrise colour, or a better sunrise with more clouds, reflective light coming into the valley, a bit more autumn colour. Don't ask for much, do you? Dancing unicorn up there. But yeah, it's beautiful. What an area. As I say, we've been in this area now for a couple of days. You've probably seen a couple of those travel vlogs of us hiking. What I'll do is I'll throw this image up, and then I'll put a little selection of other images that I just snapped as we went on our hikes from this area in Odessa, in the Spanish Pyrenees. What the heck was that? But that was the rat back again. Right guys, well once again, thanks a lot for following along on these little photo bimbles. Not quite sure where the next photo bimble will come from, but until then, take care. Bye bye.